Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires today. What is that sound we hear in the distance? Why, that's the sound of two Age of Empires goats about to collide as Hera, playing as the Ethiopians in blue, gets ready to duke it out with the Viper, playing as the Malay in yellow. Now all the players herd their herdables, explore their explorables, and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Not a bad time for us to take a look at these two very fast civilizations that we will be watching today. The Ethiopians are a civ designed to kill their opponents ASAP. Their foot archers are the fastest firing foot archers in the game. Their onagers, scorpions, rams, and bombard cannons can all be upgraded to get an even bigger blast radius. And their unique unit, we saw it recently, the Shotel Warrior, a fast, incredibly strong, but on the whole fragile infantry unit that trains in only 4 seconds once you go up to its elite form. That helps strengthen their army, protect it a little bit on the field of battle. Both their Shotel Warriors and their camel units can be upgraded to take less damage from all mounted units in the game. And when I say all mounted units, I mean it, ranged or melee. Now, to support their military endeavors, the Ethiopians do get 100 food and gold for free every time they go up in age. I'm going to try to catch that once Hera clicks up to feudal. They get the pikeman upgrade free of charge, which not only saves them 300 resources, but also means any leftover spearmen from feudal automatically graduate from Pikeman University once they hit Castle Age and become Pike. Now, the Ethiopian economy itself can be harder to surprise raid because their outposts come with a massive +3 boost to their line of sight and also don't cost any stone, which means there is literally no excuse for our Ethiopian in blue not to have about, 20 to 30 outposts strewn about the map. Now, those outposts might be looking out for an attack from who, you might be asking in this game, as the Llama takes a bit of a break here to the north. Why, none other than the Viper, playing as the Malay in yellow, a naval civilization that comes with a few late-game land features. Pushing, pulling, hacking, and hewing is the Viper. I love the level of micro out of these players. In any event, as I mentioned, primarily a naval civilization, but one that comes with a few late-game land features that are incredibly powerful. To start with, their battle elephants get progressively cheaper, 25% off in Castle, 35% off in Imperial. They get all infantry armor upgrades for free, which is great because their entire militia line can be upgraded to cost only food, no gold whatsoever. So while the Malay don't actually get champions, let's take a look right here. See that little box where my mouse is missing? Even though they don't get champions, this upgrade, called Forced Levy, when combined with the supplies upgrade, essentially turns their two-handed swordsmen into fairly cheap trash units that only cost 65 food. Lastly, if you don't want to spam elephants, if you don't want to spam some Forced Levy two-handed swordsmen, well, you have another option of spamming for the Malay, their unique unit, the Karambit Warrior. This is an incredibly cheap, super fast, but on the whole kind of weak infantry unit that only takes up half of population space, being basically the Zergling of Age of Empires. If you've got 50 of them, they only take up 25 population room. Now, to help you get these late game land features upgrades as fast as possible, the Malay do advance to the next age, and then again and again from feudal to castle to imperial, a little bit faster than normal. I should say a little bit faster, quite a lot faster than normal actually, which means you can either rush to the next age and try to hit your opponent hard with some of those discounted elephants, or you can meander a little bit, maybe pick some berries, maybe stroll around, take a sightseeing tour. I was going to say a riverboat, but there are not that many riverboats on Arabia, but we are on pretty lush grassland, so it might be a nice little nature walk, and then you can catch up to your opponent as you go up to the next stage. For example, I'll give you very quickly, as the Viper looks like after Loom should be clicking up to feudal, he's going to take 78 seconds to go up to feudal. 78. So just a minute and 18 seconds. Hera, he's going to need more than 2 minutes, 130 seconds to go up to the next stage. So I made a bit of a mistake earlier when I said it's a little bit of a speed boost. It is not a little bit of anything. It is a very fast speed boost. And by the way, that gets even better and better Castle and Imperial if we're lucky enough to see this game go that far. It looks like the two scouts are going to run into each other here, or maybe not. I love, by the way, seeing both their visions. You can kind of tell with the gray zones, the fog of war, that they have not caught wind of one another. The Viper is moving forward, Hera moving forward as well, but this is the first time he's leaving home base. The Viper, for his part, let's take a look at the actual attack path between the two bases. Okay, lots of hills, a little bit of extra stone here, which belongs to our Ethiopian who is housed, and our Malay already in feudal. The Viper's chasing. Viper's chasing a little bit too far. Okay. And Hera's town center, i.e. the villagers inside of it, the garrison then have been practicing their bow and arrow skills. And by the way, take a look at the top left of your screen. 50 gold becomes 150, 230 food becomes 330 with that Ethiopian feature, 100 food, 100 gold free of charge. That was a bit uncharacteristic there for the Viper. No, losing that scout, chasing that villager. Was he really scared? Is Hera going to do the same thing? Okay, mirror matchup indeed. There's already a spearman out. So while Hera's here, not a bad time for us to look at the Viper's base. Both primary resources nice and secure to the back. You gotta love that. Extra gold forward position, extra gold rear position, and Hera's scout. Is this even closed? I mean, yeah, it definitely is closed. Remember, the Viper did get loom right before he went up to Feudal, which means these villagers pack a punch, especially the ones on the high ground. And the Viper, okay, ultimately leaves it to the spearman to get the kill. Not too sure he really needed to do that, but kill count has been evened 1-1. So Hera, just like the Viper, tried to poke, tried to prod, tried to penetrate a little bit too deep, a little bit too far, didn't get consent, and died. And so the kill count now 1-1. Both players, by the way, losing their scouts, which means they have no clue what the hell is happening on the other side of the map. Speaking of, where is your extra patch of stone? There it is up to the north. Okay, so the Viper has his two primary resources nice and safe. Not too sure what the hell the name of this kind of wall off is, but he's definitely creating some kind of funnel here so that Hera has to engage underneath a TC. Although we'll see if Hera's engaging underneath anything at all, because it is the Viper who is moving out forward first. Hera, both like the Viper, primary resources secure to the back. Extra gold, just like the Viper, secure to the back. Okay, a bit of a mirror situation already. But we already saw this extra stone, much like the Viper, by the way, has his extra gold kind of in the forward position. But there's no kinda. This is very exposed. And where's that third patch of gold? Up to the north. So the Viper, I believe, has seen the gold to the north, has not seen the gold to the back or the second gold as well. Might have been a good scout there, scouting opportunity rather, so that you can apply the pressure. I mean, look at the Hera's gold. It's concentrated in this Bermuda Triangle. And if the Viper wanted to, he could easily set up shop right here where my Age of Empires needs an option so I can maybe draw a triangle as opposed to always having to drag a square or a rectangle or a whatever the hell the technical term for that is. In any event, the Viper, forget the north, is pressing in through the south as he himself begins walling off the northern portion of his base. And now his skirmishers, who have pretty decent line of sight, are going to be out on the map, maybe looking for some relics, maybe looking for some units, maybe looking for any kind of anything. Kill count 2-2. As these feudal age armies engage into one another, but Hera has to get out of here. Skirmishers will chase. Okay, no risk of death for those archers, but one did die on the retreat. So it looks like a bunch of trash units and an archer unit dying here in the feudal age. Not that crazy. The Viper is ahead 2 villagers. He's ahead 2 army count. And so metrics wise, he is ahead except for the score, which keeps ping-ponging back and forth, back and forth. Although Hera with no scout is not expanding his map vision at all. So he's kind of just like hanging out in the back of his base. Whereas the Viper we saw with that spear, the skirmishers, was at least taking a little bit of a walk, a little bit of a nature walk, to see where things are, what things are. By the way, has he not? I don't think he's seen his third gold. No, the Viper has not seen his third gold. Maybe that's why his skirmishers were running around. There is another patch of 3 and 3. I mean, this is pretty good for him. I like this. There's food, there's a relic, there's 3 patches of resources. This is not a bad little suburb to the north of the Viper's base. And did he see any of it? Oh my god, of course he didn't see any of it. Okay, so he's back to where he saw that gold. Let's see if he notices the third patch. Let's see if he even goes that far back. Hera, for his part, walling off right up until the mouth of the town center, knowing that the Viper's not really going to go into there at all. Both players happy to kind of chill for a second. Going up to Castle Age is very much a realistic endeavor in the next, I would say, maybe 30 seconds. Both players have a good number of villagers on gold. Both players should have, in the next couple of seconds, by the time I finish this sentence, the food necessary. And it is, in fact, Hera who is going up first, second to Feudal, first to Castle. Wrong. Remember the Malay. They don't need 160 seconds. They only need 96 seconds. So more than a minute advantage going up to the Castle Age, which is why you saw the Viper clicked up second, but will reach about 50 seconds, 45 seconds ahead of Hera. So keeping the pressure on here is nice. Archers hanging out next to the trees, saying, hey, we need more arrows. And so these villagers better get to fletching those little sticks and putting little tips on the arrows. Well, I guess. So do the arrows that the archers fire in the Feudal Age have metal tips like the skirmisher spear? I haven't really noticed. Or is it just a basic little stick that's sharpened at the end? Questions, 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 as the Viper is going to get explored a little bit more here. Unless Hera is just interested in, I don't know, finding out where his resources are and everything like that. Has seen his gold both to the north, has seen both his patches of stone. So never mind, he's going straight for the Viper's base to see what the hell is about to hit him. Because he still needs 20 seconds. Now, what is Hera planning? Not sure. Except for the fact that he's got 11 archers. He's going to be facing elite skirmishers. So he's going to need micro here. I don't know how else to say it. If you're going to take on skirmishers with archers, i.e. even crossbowmen, yeah, this is a very bad mistake here by Hera, losing 2 potential crossbowmen, but the Viper shoving in yet again. Ooh, where's he going? Oh, look at that, popping him out. Beautiful timing there. But this is going to be, I mean, Hera's got the weaker army by virtue of just counter nature of the skirmishers. Did the Viper see the stable? Is that why that's why he ran out? No, never mind. He saw it earlier when his spearman walked into here a little bit. So the Viper knows that maybe there's some knights, or maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he suspects. That being said, it's pretty much in his interest to just stick around here. Even if you lose these skirmishers to the knight, you can still take out this entire Ethiopian crossbow army, even though it's on the high ground now. And here we go. The battle of micro begins. And hey, the knight's a complete non-factor because the Viper's popped out this little bald man who's walking around with a book and a crook and a pair of sandals. No, he's not on vacation. He is on the hunt for knights to convert. Hera setting up a siege workshop in the center as he expands into a second TC, seeding a couple of farms. The Viper, university, monk upgrades, more skirmishers. Scout is going to discover this relic. I'm not sure the Viper has seen it. No. Does Hera have a monastery, by the way? No, he doesn't. The Ethiopian monastery, such a pretty building. Such a beautiful structure. And the players disengage. Okay, ballistics. Armor for the skirmishers. Remember, ballistics, the double action upgrade. Both the speed of projectiles and 100% accuracy against stationary units. When applied to skirmishers, the speed part of it gets nullified. The skirmishers get skirmish screwed by that upgrade. 2 monks dying. Oh no, this is not good for the Viper. At least he's going to take some crossbowmen to hell with him. He's killed quite a few so far. Hera's gotten 3 villager kills. And now the Viper reinforcing with more skirmishers. 2 more monks. Both of them being trained out of this very close by monastery. And again, Hera can't really engage underneath the TC. Even knights. Knights without bloodlines, by the way, for the Ethiopians. By the way, a couple of really cool similarities between these two civilizations. Speaking of ranged units, I think they're both missing hand cannoneers, if I'm not mistaken. Yours truly should probably be nowhere to look. No hand cannoneer for blue. No hand cannoneer for yellow. Aside from that, I think they pretty much, and no Parthian tactics for both of them either. Not that I'm expecting to see that. But in terms of foot archers, I think both of these have pristine foot archer lines. Unless I'm mistaken. They're also both missing bloodlines. Because camels that take 3 damage with royal heirs should not get bloodlines. And elephants that cost 25 and 35% less should not get bloodlines either. Hera so far has managed to kill a bunch of skirmishers in the house, so damage has been done for dead villagers, but not critical, not crucial damage. Oh my goodness, speaking of discounted elephants, 2 of them are being trained right now for our Malay. Usually a battle elephant is 100 food, 70 gold. Right now for the Malay, 75 food, 53 gold. Cheaper than a knight in terms of gold cost. Actually, cheaper than a knight in terms of... No, not total cost, I don't think. In Imperial, yes. Redemption as well for our Malay. And he's got how many? 3 monks, 3 mangonels, and here we go. We're gonna get to see the... that's my goat sound, by the way. That's not me having a sexual moment. That was me trying to make a... Let me try again. We're about to see a... That sounded more like sheep. Anyway, what I'm trying to do, without being completely disgusting about it and silly, is say we're about to have a goat moment where the micro of these 2 goats will be on full display as Hera tries to avoid conversion. The Viper wants conversion. Hera's going to want to kill these skirmishers so that the crossbowmen can work away at the monks and then the elephants. So far, all 3 monks die without a single conversion. And that is the nature of just having such a slow army here. As cool as these elephants are, they've got the one and only armor upgrade they're ever going to have, but they are slow AF. But it doesn't matter. The second they close on the army, the second they close on the mangonels, they are going to kill them. Now, though, the crossbowmen need to get the high ground. What's the HP on these elephants? I don't know who wins this battle. Hera, if he keeps kiting like this, beautiful micro. Like I said, forget my silly goat sound that I tried to make. Hera takes that handily, but to the north, it looks like he's lost his knights. And our army counts very low. Our Ethiopians ahead 15 villagers. Viper moves in yet again. Will he discover? Probably will. The TC here. So now he sees 2 of the 3 TCs. He's probably happy. He's going up to a 3rd one here next to his northern stone. Looks like 2 villagers have bitten the dust, the 3rd as well. So the Viper is starting to get villager kills and actually equalizes with 4 villagers. Look at the kill count. 31 each, 4 villagers each. Total populations are basically 10% apart. I mean, goat sounds aside, anytime these 2 players meet, it's always so much fun. Oh my god, we got another elephant. So the monks didn't do it. They got crossbowed to death. But that did give the elephants an opportunity to close, much as the elephant is waddling and closing this way. Now, a cool feature about the Malay, if I'm not mistaken, somebody out there let me know if I am, because obviously mistakes happen, and yours truly is not one to shy away from running his mouth. I believe the Malay are the only civilization with elephants that has heresy, which means they are at no risk of losing them to conversions. If they research heresy, of course. So if our Malay decides to dump, first of all, it's not a cheap upgrade, 1,000 gold. And Hera converts an elephant, it'll die. It will not become an Ethiopian elephant, but what will become somebody else's is this siege workshop, which gets teethed by the Malay. And there's that monastery. Isn't it such a pretty structure? I don't know. I just find it very pretty. Monk runs away, elephants move forward, knights are trying to avenge their fallen brothers. Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen here, I think was the name of that. Was that the name of the movie? Something the Fallen. Doesn't matter, mangonel falls, skirmishers to the north are gonna fall. And now let's see, now the elephant has the high ground, but it has no HP left whatsoever. Elephant dies, skirmisher dies, the Viper's army count is a meager, now the skirmisher dies, pardon me, is a meager 7 to the 17 of his opponent, and now the Viper is down, pardon me, 7 villagers. Not too sure why that took me so long. Hera's going up to Imperial. The Viper is getting crossbowman himself. Like I said, in terms of upgrades, these 2 foot archer lines are identical. They have all upgrades. The only difference is the Ethiopian naturally fires 18% faster. So when you combine that with thumb ring, which he does not have right now, I believe they fire as fast as a Mangadai, around 1.4 second delay, which is ridiculous. Okay, wheelbarrow finally getting gotten for our Malay. Handcart already for our Ethiopian. You'd think he was the Vikings. Jaguar pounces into action. Not too sure. I think he's chasing a knight. Okay, a couple of conversions here from the Viper, but does ultimately lose all of the monks that did the converting. Will he get one more? The yellow triangle of death? No, he does not. Or maybe he will if he goes back to fight a jaguar inexplicably. You know, you can run away from it and then kill it with your crossbowman. Doesn't really matter. The monk is way too slow. And now he moves forward. 15 extra HP makes him very cocky, thinking that he can run his mouth, wave that crook and book in the air. But Hera is retreating. He's building up his infrastructure. More archery ranges, a castle. Ooh, Shotel Warrior is going to be a real fun addition here. The Viper, unless he's already queued up Imperial, is nowhere close. He's got a fifth of the gold. He's got a third of the food. And he's about, based on his stone count and villager move out, to castle drop his opponent. Okay, he does get another villager kill. A Scorpion is out as well. Okay. Remember, the Viper got ballistics a long time ago. I can still remember when the Viper got ballistics. And so that does these days apply to Scorpions. And as good as crosswomen are, let's see. Okay, now they're going to have thumb ring. Watch their attack speed with thumb ring. Okay, Arbalesters. Yeah, we're seeing an Arbalester machine gunner transition. Look at all these five upgrades for Hera. So he's going to fire faster, attack stronger and further with a better unit, trained quicker and more accurately. That's about as succinct as I can make it. Viper now also going up to the final age. And look how quickly he's going to catch up. Hera took over 3 minutes. The Viper is going to take under 2 minutes. And those villagers? Idle hands are the devil's playground, he's heard, and so they are jacking lumber. I'm pretty sure he could take this stone if he wanted to. Hera is making no real effort or attempt to move out here right now. Town center is under attack. Where is the Treb? There it is, almost done. Okay, maybe not. Oh my god, we've got karambits! A couple of karambits. What's he gonna do with them? Let's keep an eye on them. Only 2 though. Only 2. Now karambits are pretty cool. There's a reason Red Phosphor makes use of them in his build order with the Malay, because they do automatically get all the armor upgrades free of charge. And those karambits, by the way, are dead. You literally look away and they die to this castle in the south. Viper has 1 Scorpion left. He's getting chemistry and conscription for his own crossbow and skirmisher. Now the Viper does have an equal army here. The only difference is he's got 20 skirmishers. How many archery ranges, by the way? If we're gonna see archer v archer, let's see that. 4 for the Viper, 5 for Hera. Hera, who by the way is beginning the massacre of villagers here, but as he kills villagers, he's giving the Viper time to close in with a sandwich maneuver. Oh, but you're not Arbalesters, you're crossbowmen. But look at how many dead Arbalesters there are here. Holy moly. Castle falls as more Arbalesters fall. These are not cheap units. Hera, look at his resources though. Okay, I don't think he cares too much as these javelins fire. Is this the last of us? This is the Joel Arbalester heading back to base. Oh my goodness. But the Viper's forward position has been knocked down. No more nothing here. These 2 siege workshops are exposed. By the way, these 3 siege workshops are exposed. He's thiefed absolutely no stone of his opponent. His opponent who just got torsion engines for the bombard cannon, which I believe adds I want to say 0.4 or 0.45. Let's not get too specific. Let's just enjoy. I think it's almost 2 blast radius on the bombard cannon now. Ooh, I want to click one so bad. That sounded so sexual. It wasn't intended. Oh, pardon me. 0. I got so excited. 0.95 instead of 0. I think 5 or 5.5. But again, I could be wrong. Villagers, what the hell were we doing here a second ago? Oh yeah, we were repairing things. Now the Malay also has bombard cannons out on the field. And let's see. Torsion engines, bombard. Oh, I guess I could just easily check. There you go, 0.5 at the bottom there. Look at that. Oh, capture age. You make knowing things not necessary. Both players hovering in the 160s in terms of supply. Viper is down 16 villagers. He's ahead 8 army count. But his units, okay, finally staggers them. I was going to say are a little clumped here for my liking. What is happening here? Crossbowmen attacking an outpost. Hello. And here we go. No trade here is good for Hera as his arbalesters are just getting taken to Pound Town. What's the point of this? What is the point? Okay, armies disengaged yet again. Now, cool thing about the Ethiopians, pretty perfect siege line. Both these civs, I think, have siege engineers. Let's double check to see if anyone has actually researched it. Nope, they're both at 12 range. And there's your torsion engines. 1 tile damage. Those balls were nowhere close to that bombard cannon, and they still managed to kill it. The Viper needs to add something here. You can't just have 36 skirmishers out of 40 army count. 2 monks and 2 bombard cannons. And now Hera. Oh, Hera is adding hussars. And he's adding, okay, siege engineers and blast furnace. So he is roiding up his army. He's going to hit from further away. He's going to hit harder. The Viper needs something here. Stables. Kinder Egg Elephant Surprise. And now he's going to lose a couple of these lumberjacks, but with... Oh, you remember, you can't attack them when they're like this, right? No, you can. I guess melee can. I guess ranged units can't attack them when they're moving and have activated their invisible shield. Hera goes after the BBCs. He gets one. He'll get the second now that he's got blast furnace for sure. And it's, by the way, not being defended or repaired. And the Viper is adding 10 elephants. He's going up to a lead battle elephant. Hera's army is big. It is mighty, but it is carved in half. The hussars to the north have died. Now the arbalesters are here. Now the good news for the Viper, look at how close the stables are to these arbalesters, and these are elite battle elephants. Unfortunately, they are Malay elite battle elephants, which means their armor is shitty at a 4 pierce against the 10 damage. He's going for the trebs. He's going for the bombard cannons. And let's see if the Viper for a second time can use his elephant surprise to clear up Hera's army here as he finally brings his skirmishers forward as well. Where the hell were they hiding? Hussars closing on the elephants, skirmishers closing on the arbalesters, bombard cannons firing on everything. Look at how they flattened. I mean, come on, torsion engines. Look at this. Or maybe they just fire. Maybe I'm just getting too excited. No, that was, I think that was 1 ball. Sorry, I'm gonna keep doing this until I get it. Yeah, I think it's this ball. You see this one that's in front of the hussars? I think that 1 ball killed all 4 of these skirmishers. Yeah, it killed 4 skirmishers. That's hilarious. I mean, I know they're just skirmishers, but wow. I mean, look how spread out they are. Torsion engines for the freaking win. The hell's this treb attacking? Okay. It was like, hey, buddy, you're facing the wrong way. I mean, at the end of the day, what do we say? Did the Viper transition to elephants too late? Did he give up too much momentum to this Ethiopian army? Did he have enough stables? 5 going on 6? Is this one being constructed, or is it just really, really weak? No, it's just really, really weak. So he had 6 stables. Should he have massed his elephants instead of running them in one at a time, trickling them in? This is one of my favorite poems is Under the Harvest Moon by Carl Sandburg, and it's my favorite poem because of the last line that ends in 3 very nice words. It ends in the following: beautiful, unanswerable questions. And that is exactly how I feel about this game. Beautiful, unanswerable questions. Did he transition too late? Did he mass them ineffectively? Did he trickle them in too much? Should he have had more stables? This unit that has 300 HP attacks on a 16. I mean, it could attack on an 18 if he had blast furnace, but currently attacks on a 16. No armor whatsoever. So it's basically naked. But who cares? It costs 46 gold. 65 food. This thing costs as much as a champion. Basically, come on. 65 food, 46 gold. And so the Viper still could have trained another 8 if he wanted to, based on the gold count. I think the math is 7, 8, or 9. One of those. But wow, what a fun game. Elephants making an appearance early on. The Viper trying to press in, but with the Malay, you have to press in, I think, early to mid Castle Age before your opponent can really get their feet under them, because then the lack of upgrades on this unit really kicks in, or more specifically, the lack of armor and missing bloodlines really kicks in. And the Ethiopians with their Hussar and their ability to Hussar raid you is basically like it's like handing Hera the keys to the kingdom here. Anytime he gets a civilization with Hussars, and look at that, even more, he's got 63 on food, which is decent. It's not great for like a massive Hussar push, but he doesn't need a massive Hussar push. He's still going Arbalesters. He's got a good amount of resources, bombard cannons with torsion engines. And wow, what a fun game. We got to see Karambits. We got to see Battle Elephants. So we got to see 2/3 of the Malay spam roster. The only thing we didn't see was their Forced Levy upgrade. Where are you? There you are. Not a cheap upgrade for their two-handed swordsman spam. But what is this? I spy with my little eye. 2 Karambits with 1 kill? What the hell are you doing up here? I guess they were helping against the Hussar raid. Man, speaking of cheap, forget the cheap Battle Elephant cost. The Karambit, 25 food, 15 gold, 40 total resources to train 1 unit. That technically takes up the space of half a unit. But wow, what a fun game. Aside from Forced Levy, we saw a lot of what the Malay had to offer. And like I said earlier, these are 2 civilizations that have perfect foot archer rosters. The only difference is this badass fires like a Mangadai at 1.4. I mean, that's just really machine gunners. Let's see how fast. I mean, look at that. You don't have a moment to breathe. If it's not this fiery chemistry arrow, it's this torsion engine's ball. If it's not that, then it's the Hussars running amidst you. And Hera just, wow, overwhelms at the end. The Viper, like I said, unanswerable, beautiful questions. Did the elephant push come in a little bit too late? 86 Arbalesters to 87 Skirmishers. Hussars at the end of the game. Elephants at the end of the game. Knights and crossbows towards middle, I was going to say end, and it came out middle elephant, but there you go. Hera with his usual bonkers APM a few minutes before the game ended. And a few minutes before the game, actually, no, middle of the game, APM for the Viper, who also hits the 200 mark. Oh yeah, 13,000 more resources for Hera. We saw he had handcart and a villager lead years before the Viper did. So no surprise there that he's got a, what is that, like a 26%, 25% bigger economy. Relics going to the Viper, but not really playing a role. A little bit of extra stone, but that's it. Everything else in huge numbers, except for maybe wood. 2,500 wood, 5,000 food, and about 5,000 gold. It's a pretty big difference there. 4 conversions, 13 raisings to 4, and let's take a look at the final kill count. Hera kills 40 villagers to 7, 192 units to 114. It's a little surprising. I thought the Viper did a little bit better with his skirmishers. He did manage to, I mean, that retreat with that last surviving Arbalester was pretty poetic. That was pretty badass. The Viper, I mean, he sacrificed a bunch of villagers, I believe, jacking lumber here, and then his crossbows all died, but the skirmishers got the chase going, and then they just carved up that army, spear, javelin by javelin, until ultimately 1 Arbalester survived. But 1 Arbalester survives, you add a few more, you upgrade your bombard cannons, and all of a sudden, your opponent is facing a massively powerful Ethiopian army, and with that Ethiopian army, that cracks the center, and the Viper just, unfortunately, even though his elephants are cheap AF, just does not have the ability to mass them. Anytime they come out, they're just going to die to these Hussars that are backed up by these units. Even though some of the Trebs, this guy, are facing the wrong way, this is a pretty untouchable Ethiopian army based on what the Viper has. He realizes that, and even though he's still got a decent settlement, decent villager count, he sees there is no future left in this game. He taps out, lives to fight another day, and it is Hera who takes the W in a battle of goats. But GG to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.